Hey, what's going on? Welcome to this quick video on how you can flip your current existing business skills, your expertise, what you do day to day into 10K plus months online by creating high ticket businesses. So here we go. Let's define business skills first and foremost. What do we mean? Well, let's get really specific with this. It's anything that can help, or anything that helps businesses make more money, save time, build teams, anything in that regard, help the CEO specifically. These are the things that we're really talking about. So if we kind of extrapolate this a little bit further, we can say, well, make more money. What would that would be sales, that would be ads, that would be appointment setting, right, which is like a junior sales role. It could be anything to do from systems, automations. It could be anything at all, right? Anything that helps businesses make more money. Then save time, again, is the same thing. This could be team building. This could be, again, systems, automations. This could be workflows. This could be any number of things. And then build, helps the CEO specifically. This could be where you're talking about like fitness or team cohesion. If the CEO is really struggling with that, it could be hiring. Again, it could be systems. So anything that helps the business or the CEO make more money, save time, and move forward. It could even be project management is a really big one because we always need people that are going to help us do things better. So with that in mind, the question is, okay, well, we've got these business skills. You're a sales pro, you're a project manager, you're a team hiring expert, you're a team cohesion expert. You get what it takes to move things forward. And it adds value to a business, but you already do that professionally, right? And you get paid X amount of money. You know at this point, very likely, that there are other people with very, very similar skills to you, perhaps less skilled than you, making considerably more money. And the question that we're going to answer in this video is, how is that possible? What are they doing? What are they flipping their knowledge into? How are they flipping their knowledge into something that makes money? So here is the consideration for us to take into account. Your business skills right now are undefined in transformation. Hey, sell your hours to me for X amount and just do this task on a repeated basis, right? So selling hours is currently what we're talking about. We're talking about you have a stable, right? You do have a stable paycheck, which is true. But because you're taking much less risk, you have much lower income. And what's normally happening, especially if you're working client-facing in any way, shape, or form, your hours are resold by the business for much more money. An example, someone here that I know makes 10 euros an hour. We're going to call it dollars because I can't find the euro sign on my keyboard. $10 per hour. In ads, she's an agency manager, right? She manages their ads, scripts, all this kind of stuff. $10 an hour, but they resell her services for $60 an hour. Okay, so she makes 1.6K a month. A month versus the 9.6K per month that they actually bill for. So literally, if she did the same job but billed at the rate that the agency is billing, she would be making 9.6K a month. So really interesting. So how does this compare to what happens when we have the flip here in the middle? Well, the flip in the middle is now we have a defined time-bound transformation. So we're taking our knowledge, we're making it defined, and we're doing it time-bound. I'll give you some examples of that in a second. We're not selling on hours, we're selling on value and outcome. Okay, so we're not selling on hours anymore, we're now selling on value and outcome. The paycheck is less predictable, but much higher potential income. I'll show you an example of that in a sec. There we go. And this would be, in this example right now, we're talking about literally the same thing, 9.6K per month versus 1.6K per month. Literally with the same work hours, the same deliverables, the same absolutely everything, right? This is exactly what it would be. Let's move this over. And so here is a concrete example of how this works. I told you this would be a short video. We just want to make sure that we're giving away all the value so that you can take action on this and actually move things forward. So an example, offer example. Let's just create that over here. Let's move this over into the flip, right? There we go. Offer example. Okay, cool. So we're going to do maybe two different examples, just so you can get inspired by this. And let's do one with someone who is an appointment setter, okay? So appointment setter, which means that you are someone who generates meetings for a business, right? Appointment setters typically, depending on the space that you work in, but you're talking about like a 2K per month base plus 5% on closed deals or whatever, right? So you're talking about a realistic income of 5K per month. And so the question is, well, how can we flip someone who has this same skill set into something where they make 10 to 15K a month, let's say, okay? So productized. Number one, we want this to be productized and systemized. So what is it that this person, this appointment setter, professionally does every day that they know the ins and outs of? In fact, let's have a look at skills. So we know exactly, as an appointment setter, how to do outbound DM, how to turn conversations into booked calls. We know this, right? Because this is our day-to-day job. If we are a good appointment setter, then this is something that we're very, very easily at, that we're very comfortable with. We very likely understand the systems and automations that run all this. And we understand, because we've been in it, the sales culture, the start of day meetings, end of day meetings, KPIs, all of this other stuff that we've been told to do. So here are the skills. We've got actually a very highly developed individual, but that's been trading time for money. Well, here is how we flip that knowledge into a high ticket offer. So here's what we could do for this one. We have, let's see. So say that we're dealing with niche is a customer who wants to build a team of SDRs, but doesn't have the time/know-how to do it themselves, right? This is what we're really dealing with in this situation, right? This would be, we're making this up on the spot, obviously, but I'm giving you examples. So here's what someone could do. You could, as your high ticket offer, let's just pull this down here. As your high ticket offer, you could very easily do all this as a done for you setup for your team. Okay, so stage one, so this would be a 3-month engagement. Okay, in that 3-month engagement, it's going to be, just add 90 days here. Build your in-house appointment setting team. I'll write this out. Actually, I won't. Appointment setting team in 90 days and create a 7-figure pipeline for your business, right? So this could be our transformation. Okay, so now we have a time-bound transformation. Within 90 days, you will have your appointment setting team ready and a 7-figure pipeline for your business going forwards, meaning that you've constantly got floods of new leads coming in. So what is it that you offer here? Pillar one, right? Because you are a appointment setter, you understand how all this stuff's work. It's going to be done for you scripting and onboarding, done for you scripting for new setters coming in, right? So they understand all of the scripts. So this would be like outreach, warm leads, hot leads, cold leads, SOPs, how to handle all this stuff, whatever, okay? Now we have pillar two. Could very easily be, we're going to be building out automations, systems. Bear in mind, this is going to be really, really simple, right? Like it's literally like when you drag the lead in the pipeline to here, do this, right? Again, this is done for you. And pillar three is then finally, you could say, train your appointment setters so they are live within 14 days of starting. Now, here is a question we're going to ask you, okay? If you are an appointment setter, you've been doing this for a number of years, you are an expert business development representative, you've done all this, you've got the skills, you know how to do outbound DM or outbound calls, you know how to turn conversations into qualified book calls. You understand the way that these systems and automations actually run because you've been in them for all this time, and you also understand what it takes to have a good sales culture, start of day meeting, end of day meeting, KPIs, tracking, all this other stuff, right? Well, you're now an extremely highly skilled individual, and if you're looking to reach out to people who want to build a team of SDRs but don't have the time or the know-how to do it themselves, these are people that are willing to spend a lot of money to have this done for them in a 90-day period of frame, especially if we address the additional fears that they have within that. So let's say that we help them build an in-house appointment setting team in 90 days and created a 7-figure pipeline for them. Pillar one is that we will go in and we will script all of this stuff for them based off their business needs, their target audience that they have, all this kind of stuff that you'd already be very familiar with. Pillar number two would be building out the automations and the systems, whether that's in Go High Level or Close.io or whatever people use. Pillar three would be that you would then train their appointment setters so that they're live within 14 days of starting. So which pain points does this address? This addresses time. The person that wants this does not have the time. It addresses skill, and it invests in addresses doubt they can do it themselves. Okay, because they often don't know what they don't know. And so when you are saving someone time, you are addressing a lack of their skill, and you are helping them feel mentally calm that this is the right solution for them. People can pay a lot of money for them. Now, pillar three here could be kind of interesting. You could have an agreement with someone else that helps place the setter, or maybe you know appointment setters anyway because of your connection, and you would help place them. The question is, for a 3-month period of time, if you help people do this, how much would they be willing to spend? And the answer is, I bought a program actually just like this. So the answer is, the program that I bought was 12,000 euros for 3 months. Actually, I believe it was 4 months, right? Which is like, I think it's $13,000 to $14,000 for 4 months. And that was just a course. They had specific pieces in there that were done for you, like they had an onboarding and done for you scripts, but the rest of it was literally a course. That was it. So as a done for you, you can absolutely do this. So here is the question for you. Okay, I'm an individual, I'm an appointment setter. I want to hit that 10K per month mark. Well, what do I need to do? Well, you have a program like this. You don't have to create it in advance, by the way, because you can create the resources as you have your first client go through this. But what you do need to have is you need to have your offer set up. You need to have your sales script so that you know how to actually do this, right? And once you have sold it, you can then go away and create the resources for this done for you client as you're actually going through it. So if you're selling this as a 10K offer, which would be very reasonable, you need 1 sale a month. That's it. A single sale a month. If you're selling this as a 5K offer, which I wouldn't advise you launch with, because at this point you need to create this in advance, right? So maybe do the done for you first, and then you can do it as a done with you course afterwards. But this would be 2 sales a month. And if we actually consider, what this would be, say you have a 20% close rate, which is very, very reasonable. That's 10 booked calls a month, or 10 calls shown, which is like 12 booked calls a month. And actually, this would be 5 booked calls a month. Like, it's literally nothing. And this would be 20% close rate. That's 10 booked calls a month. And so as we look into this, again, here's a quick summary. I know that I've scribbled, but I want to make sure that we understand this. You're sitting in this as a position of someone who has a business skill, a tangible business skill that you know is worth money because you've got proven experience, whether that's for your existing client or for your existing clients because you're already doing this, but you want to grow and make more money and charge more, or you've been working for a business, which is effectively one big client that's currently underpaying you or likely underpaying you. So you have an undefined transformation where you're selling hours, you have a stable paycheck, but you have much lower income as a result of that, and your hours are resold for much more money if you do anything client-facing. What we do is we flip that knowledge into something that is defined in a time-bound way, because that increases perceived value and the transformation can actually be tangible. We sell on value and outcome instead of hours billed. The income is slightly less predictable, but it's so much higher that it just doesn't even make sense from a trade-off. And your potential income is much higher. And again, here is the offer example. You're an appointment setter. You are peaking at 5K per month, but you've got all these skills. Outbound DMs, we know how to turn them into calls, turn conversations into qualified calls booked. You understand systems and automation, and you understand sales culture, start of days, end of days, KPIs, all that kind of good stuff. The high ticket offer is 3 months of engagement is 90 days. We'll build your in-house appointment setting team for you and help you create a 7-figure pipeline, which means that step 1, we'll script everything for you. Step 2 is we'll build out all of the automation, and step 3, we'll have your appointment setter live and working with you within 14 days. And we will train them for the next 90 days, which to do that, you just bring all the appointment setters to your own start of day, right? Really, really simple. It's going to be $10,000 for the first 3 months, which is super cheap. And then what's really cool is you can price anchor after that. Well, you've just paid 10K for the first 3 months. That's great. To continue afterwards, if you still need the support, it's only $1,500 a month. So what you do on the back end is you have a high price anchor front end. Let's say it's 10K, and then you, as Alex Hormozi would say, downsell the upsell, which means that to stick in here, it's only 1.5K a month, which feels much cheaper than the 10K that they originally spent. And so people will stick. And what will happen is that if you have a client that's paying 10K up front, plus it's a 3-month transformation, right? Plus 9 months of 1.5K, that is, what's 9 times 1.5 being done? 13.5, that's $23,500 per year per client. So if you wanted to make if you use this kind of structure and you wanted to make your 6 figures a year, that's literally 4 to 5 clients to 6 figures a year. That's it. And are you telling me that once you have this built out and it's SOP'd and it's all ready to go, that it's going to take you a lot of work to actually set clients up? The answer is no. Long story short, this is how you flip your business skills into 10K months, with the example being an appointment setter. If you want help with this, we have an inner circle community called the 10K Club, where we literally help people transform their business skills into 10K plus months online using their expertise. If you want help with that, there's going to be a link for that below. Come and join, and we'll work together to get you up and running. See you in the next one.